before I start here, I just want to say, you know, I've got a YouTube channel, and I do state that this is an intuitive reading, and you believe this or you don't believe it. And it's not fake news or anything like that. It's, you know, it's my energies that are coming through. So what is wrong with that? So what is wrong with sharing that? Because this recent, there's been this recent, you know, explosion here from her friends. Stop bullying Meghan, okay? Stop bullying Meghan. And what that is saying, I think that's just going to actually inflame the media, because, you know, in the United Kingdom there is this freedom of speech. And when you put yourself on a world stage, similar to me putting myself on YouTube, I would expect people to be nasty and horrible, because, you know, I'm putting myself out there. So here we go with this, and I will do a reading on this. I have got more to do on this other reading about her friends here, who have had enough of the media and feel sorry for Meghan and all the emotional turmoil that this is actually, she's actually been put through. So I won't go too much down that road, but I want to just say, why is it that it just seems as if it's making anybody on YouTube, Instagram, being frightened of saying things here that are, you know, are a innocent kind of intuitive, you know, intuitive psychic reading. And it's like, well, I'm going to attack you for that. You're racist. You don't like black people coming into the royal family. Do you know, I don't really care, because I know that the royal family are, and I'm British, so I know that the royal family are part of the, you know, they are King George VI here created this the Commonwealth here, from all, you know, different races. So why would I say that? I'm not racist, and they're just trying to take us off, you know, off YouTube by these threats here. And these paid trolls, and even all these recent interviews on television are saying, oh, all these trolls, you know, are on public media are actually causing this. So I'm sorry, you come into the royal family, and then after a year goes by, you want this to stop. You want this to stop. It doesn't work like that. If you don't want to be on that public arena and on that world stage, what are you doing in the royal family? You can't then afterwards use your friends, your contacts to actually stop this. Stop, you know, people's freedom of speech, because that is not human, is it? You know, having a freedom of speech is not human. And I am unbiased with my readings, but then again, I have to look at why, you know, why actually enter the royal family after being warned that, you know, and I get recently that Samantha's called her a complete narcissist after I said that I got those narcissistic readings. But anyway, I knew that was coming up. I felt that intuitively that this would come out. But then again, it's going to come out anyway with the book, because she's got lots to say. I think Samantha, intuitively, I don't know personally, but intuitively I pick up here that Samantha's got much to say about Meghan and her selfish and ways. So that's not me saying that. I'm saying that in an intuitive sense. And I have to apologize. I seem to feel as if I've got to apologize for what I'm saying. But when I used to actually do the tarot scopes, which were very kind of close to the bone, I didn't find myself apologizing for doing this kind of intuitive reading. I'm not going to apologize, guys, and I'm not going to be threatened or chased off by somebody who now decides after 1 year that they don't like this public scrutiny. Talking about Prince Philip here. Prince Philip, anybody who is a newcomer to the royal family, okay. And Prince Philip was a newcomer, remember? And he went through the exact same, and he still goes through it. People call him Nazi. He used to be friends with Hitler and the most horrible things. He knows. I just continue with my duty. I can't stand up publicly and stand up for myself. I just have to ignore it and carry on, because the royal family know that from medieval days that the public will have this public mood that the royals will have to go with. If it's if it's a mood of discontentment, they have to be careful. If it's a mood of gaiety, then that's great. Okay. And I feel, let's get into the Queen here, because I feel that the Queen felt like she'd actually cracked it now. The Queen, I know that's she probably won't use that term, but the Queen has felt as if she cracked it before Meghan came along with William and Harry, because William and Harry were very popular, and they had many years of this popularity of the royals. And the Queen is loved. She is loved world over. She has so respected for the years that she has put in here. 7 decades of duty and keeping the monarchy going, and keeping the monarchy from collapsing, and many kind of ups and downs with the Queen. And she took this role on at 25 years old, 25. So I respect the Queen for the sheer facts that a 25-year-old woman took on this duty. And there was this that didn't stop the newspapers, the headlines. She went with with the ups and downs of this, and she dealt with this diplomatically. She dealt with it diplomatically. That's how the Queen does things. If somebody's attacking anybody in the family, the social media, and it's kind of, they can see that it's destroying the monarchy kind of thing. She will deal with it diplomatically. She'll say things like, oh, we need to change things here. I'm actually taking note of the public mood. And so we need to get ourselves out there and mix with ordinary people and show that, we do care about the public. And that's how she does things. How does she feel about this banana thing, and how does she feel about Meghan? Actually, I'm picking up that, what's your thoughts? Because I'm going to do a reading on the friends here that said all these great things about her, which is, in a way, that's good. But do you feel that Meghan has actually asked them to do that? Because I get this coming through here, that they have said, look, because it's like every detail, we're talking about the tiara. It's like they are speaking for Meghan. It's like, I did not wear that tiara. I want that tiara. I did not kind of have tantrums over that tiara. The staff, she was not horrible to the staff. She was not horrible to Kate in that fitting room when Charlotte was, all of this. it's, you know, and I get like Meghan is trying to say it's all lies. It's all lies. So in a way, in a way, it's actually trying to say to the public, I'm getting my friends to talk to me, to talk for me, because I can't speak. You know, I have to be like the Queen. And the Queen is very kind of disciplined over that. Meghan is not self-disciplined over that. She can't kind of wait to, like, in a week or so's time, to actually be more diplomatic about it. Well, when the baby comes, we can, you know, the mood may change. I don't feel that Meghan can wait that long, because this is in another reading that I've done here. So let's have a look at the Queen, how she feels about Meghan actually questioning whether Meghan actually asked her friends to speak out with all of these details. Okay, all of these details to be exposed. The Queen would never do that. The Queen would never get her best friend or her mates to say how unhappy she is because the papers have said this and I've said that. She would never do that, because that really, it would actually, in the Queen's eyes, that would actually weaken the monarchy, the crown. It's actually admitting, I can't cope with this role. I cannot cope with this duty, this role here. And you know, I can't cope with this public scrutiny. I can't cope with, you know, from gosh, going back years and years when they first created newspapers, you know, the King and the Queen were always in the headlines. It was the news, you know, it was the news, whether it was good or bad. And it's kind of that the monarchs have always kind of gone with that public mood and tried to not fight against that public mood. So here we have this Facebook, YouTube here as a medium to express your free thoughts and your free speech, and as long as it's not kind of against the law, then, you know, you should be able to say what you like, in a way, how you feel. And this actual friends saying this is, these friends are just kind of saying, you're not allowed to have free speech. Stop doing this free speech here of how you feel about Meghan being in a position of authority and not doing her job properly. Stop doing that. And that is what these friends are doing. Now, I get the Queen actually stomach kind of turning over this. Yes, I can see that that's what the public would now think, that these friends of Meghan's are trying to threaten people. In a way, they're being inflammatory by saying this. You know, this could actually cause uproar. How dare they say that, you know? These things that are not true. You know, what right have they to say that good or bad? Stop kind of doing these comments. Stop making these channels, these YouTube channels. Now, I have to say that is one of the reasons I have decided to sit on the fence with most things with these public videos. And not because I'm frightened, but there is this threat here of this. So it's kind of keeping it clean in a way. And it's not fair to ask speakers and to actually keep it diplomatic and clean. But I think there's more people out there with YouTube channels who are worse than me, to be honest with you. I'm not going on about me, but I am non-biased. I'm not racist. I'm not a hater. I'm just saying what comes out here in an energy kind of sense, intuitive sense. And this is what this is. Now, I am going to do uncut private readings, closed readings for my followers if you are interested. I think I've got three or four. I'm going to do another one today. If you're interested in seeing any of those without any kind of boundaries or any kind of me stopping what I'm saying, because I can't say that on a public kind of podium, then I have got my private ones that you can look and watch separately. One of the reasons that I've created that kind of library, if you want to see them privately yourself and purchase, not purchase, but just a small donation to actually, purchase that. It's not purchased in a way, it's just a small donation, so just the time it takes to send that video to you privately. If you're interested, I will put at the end of this, if you're going to watch this to the end, I will put up here somewhere on a corner a link, and click on that and it will take you to the instructions and what to do, how to obtain an uncut private reading. Okay. So, yeah, this is getting ridiculous where we're having to protect what we're actually saying now. And I've got to ask you for a small donation to actually send these to you. But that's how I feel at the moment. Okay. So, so let's have a look here at your comments, and I will continue with the Queen in a minute. Okay, that's great. So I hope, I hope you monitors there. I've chosen some mediators. So if you're interested in being a mediator, let me know. And I have noted that you actually do. Some of you are quite happy to do that because you follow me and you come on here regular. So if you want to be a mediator to kick off these paid trolls, please do, because I think it's unfair. You can't just come on somebody's channel and just say you're a racist when I've not even mentioned racism or any hatred or anything like that. So if you do want to do that, please inform me. I want to speak freely, believe me, Anne, okay? It is the ignorant, it is the uneducated. So would you say that, well, I'm frightened to even say this, would you say that Meghan is ignorant then? Because, people are allowed, and the newspapers are allowed free speech. I'm not going to follow that bandwagon of being very nicey and fluffy around the edges. I've never been like that. I never will be like that. It is a little bit controversial, but that's the way I am. I am like that. And I like to dig quite deep. Okay. So let's have a look here at the Queen. So I've got my cards here, guys. What does the Queen think about this? Well, like I said, she's been doing this for 7 decades. Okay, it's a long time, since she was 25. And then before that, because she was doing, she was sent on this Commonwealth tour when she was 25. Big responsibilities, and I have a huge admiration for that lady. Absolutely amazing lady. She's kept countries together and kept the peace as well, especially after the Second World War. She's also looked at maintaining the peace with other countries, not on a kind of political level, but also not on a political level, but also on a very kind of diplomatic level, an ambassador level kind of thing. So we are getting quite serious with this reading, and it's like, you know, I'm talking about the Queen, so I'm going to be very professional here. And so also keeping the England and the Crown and the monarchy, and also keeping these relations positive and good. The Queen has had to keep her family together too. And she's a great believer of protocol to a certain extent, because sometimes those old protocols were very conservative. But I mean, Edward VIII there, and she watched all that. She watched that show of Edward VIII and Wally Simpson, and him saying, you know, on public interviews that you know, the royal establishment can be too conservative. He was another one that wanted to change things. This is the Queen, actually. And look at the Queen there. She's very strong. And she's very stoic, okay? Very stoic. She's the Queen. She's the Queen here, okay? And underneath that hat that she wears, that hairstyle that she wears, that pretty dress that she wears, she's like this, you know? She is like this. She has to keep it together. And to keep this together, the monarchy has to remain very traditional, very diplomatic, and to say less is better. Less is better. I get that too coming through, that less is better. And she's worked around the clock tirelessly. It's even threatened her own marriage and her own family. And she has done, you know, worked so many hours with her duty here. Lots and lots of people, attacking her, attacking the family. And, you know, the Queen has made a decision. I cannot be in control of these manipulative people around me who will manipulate what I say. I can't control that. So you have to let these people have their say. And after you let them have their say, then that will be gone into the past to the future. But the way we show that we are positive is through action, not through our words, okay? Wow. So I do get here, I do get here that the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the Queen of Cups is a very kind of emotional soul. She can feel tears and emotion, but does not show it. And she does have to deal with difficult people, but she hides her emotions and her insecurities. The Queen has had to put her own needs to one side and her insecurities for the sake of the crown. Well, that's quite powerful, wasn't it? Very timeless. This woman is timeless. This woman is timeless. And why do I get timeless? Because timeless is, it was no different back when you know, Margaret was causing these difficulties with Peter Townsend and all of this kind of thing. It was no different to them days, you know, it was no different to then. So it's a timeless kind of issue, is this tabloid and free speech of people. You cannot stop it. You cannot stop this. And I get, not through words anyway, through actions of showing that you do care, that you are understanding, and eventually you have to wait for the public mood to actually change. And she's fully aware of this, but Meghan isn't. Okay, Meghan isn't aware of this. After 1 year, Meghan is so tired of this. She cannot put her own insecurities to one side. And I'm not having a go at Meghan again. I feel scared to say anything. The Queen had to do this for 7 decades. Okay, 7 decades. And I'm not saying Meghan is the Queen, but she's less than the Queen. So I feel the Queen will say, if anybody who's a newcomer to the royal family, get this public backlash, because there is a love to the monarchy and the Queen, and they don't want that some newcomer. It's like when you get a newcomer into a family and you can see that they're very manipulative, and and you're seeing this in front of your eyes, and you think, well, you need to get rid of that person. That person's not good for you. Well, the Queen wouldn't even say that. She wouldn't even say that to Harry. She's so diplomatic. Okay, so this is a timeless issue. To maintain this duty, to maintain the duty, put your own insecurities to one side. And to be honest with you, they had a job with Harry to put him back onto the right path here after Diana died. And they before Meghan came along, they had actually succeeded. I'm very proud of, and she should be very proud. The Queen should be, and Charles should be very proud of those boys, because they became very, very popular, and they didn't have to worry about this public kind of mood for many, many years here. And if they did have these thoughts of, I don't like the way that the tabloids have publicized Harry taking drugs and alcohol and all that kind of thing, they didn't say a word about that. Okay, that went on for a while, didn't it? But the royal family did not say a word about that. And thank you for your donation there. Okay, I forgot to say thank you. And the last thing they would do here, and I get the moon card, they keep things hidden. They keep things hidden. And the last thing that they would do is have some kind of revelation here and let everybody know about this, because like Diana did with the Diana tapes, she revealed everything behind those palace doors there. And it's something that the Queen has never done, and she will never do. Okay, it doesn't matter about her feelings. She would never do that. Okay, so so after 1 year, we have Meghan saying to her friends, and her friends wouldn't say this, would they, without her kind of blessing. They wouldn't say all these, this bucket list of things to say to for this interview. And also they're going to get paid for that. Okay, I get that Meghan actually does feel restricted. Also the Queen, don't forget this is about the Queen, that actually the Queen feels restricted too, that she cannot have a voice. You cannot have a voice in the royal family. Okay, you cannot have a voice here. And that's something she's learned over time. It takes years to get over some kind of scandal. They know that. They know that. The Queen knows that. Philip knows that. They're just so careful. Okay, somebody here. Somebody's emotionally exhausted. The Eight of Cups. Well, I feel this is maybe the Queen is considering retiring from her duties here, and this is where this is heading. The plans here is to pass and hand over, which she's done already, is to hand over to Harry and to hand over duties to Harry, which is like 53 Commonwealth countries. Okay, and that she's done that because Harry has proved to himself before. I feel this was arranged before he met Meghan, and they've been working on Harry to help him with how to take and how to deal with duties. And he's done really well with that. He's done really, really well. So she has kind of handed him this duty of the 53 Commonwealth countries here to keep this keep patron of that. Okay, and also other patrons too. Yeah, I get that Philip, Prince Philip did not fit in, and he kind of, they know what it's like not to be able to fit in to the royal family. So I get here Prince Philip, the Three of Wands here, and also that could also be Harry. But I get into this part that Prince Philip was a complete perfectionist, and the royal courts didn't like that either. So he, and Prince Philip, and I will say that card is Prince Philip because Prince Philip had to sacrifice quite a lot here to be a newcomer to the royal family. And I get the Hangman. So yeah, they know what it's like to have to sacrifice your life, your identity, your who you are, and you can get lost in this tabloid hatred towards you because, believe it or not, Prince Philip got accused of being a Nazi, being part of this Nazi regime, and all of this. So they know what it's like. The Queen here, and I'm getting with this reading here intuitively as well, that the Queen is looking to retire. And this is going to happen soon, I feel. But I feel she's going to hand this over, these problems here, to somebody else. But the somebody else is the somebody else is a fool. Okay. The somebody who the Queen has passed this over to is a fool, is the fool. And I don't feel that, although Prince Charles has been preparing to be king, he's not very good when it comes to sorting out emotional problems like relationships and actually sorting this out. So he's kind of leaving that with Harry. William, I will do a reading about how William feels about this. But this is, let's carry on with the Queen here. Also, we're going on forever. William and Harry were very popular, didn't have a problem. Now Meghan has come along. The Meghan effect, as they said. Okay. So... And we sometimes the tabloids, when Diana died, and this was a very difficult period for the Queen to go through. When Diana died, she went to Balmoral with the boys to get away from the tabloids and the paparazzi and all of that. And that's how she deals with the newspapers, the publicizing of everything. She gets out of the way. And she was actually, this went to Parliament actually, that the Queen is ignoring the people, that she is ignoring the people, and that she needs to address this. And they did address it. They came back, and they do it with actions. Okay, they do it with actions. They came back and they looked at all the flowers outside Kensington Palace, and they did that walkabout. Which was heartbreaking, really, really heartbreaking for those boys. So, wow, I could go on and on here. But what does she feel about this, what's going on here with the public mood? And I think she's ignoring it at the moment. She's acknowledging it. She's acknowledging it. It's not actually anything to do with the anything that's going to affect the politics at all. But I do feel she's ignoring this because of this popularity. I have to say that because she's ignoring it, Meghan has jumped in here, or her friends have jumped in, and has done what the Queen does not like to do, which is to have all these revelations of why Meghan should be Meghan and a duchess and be left alone. Okay, so yes, she does have concerns about public mood, but because she is looking at retirement and stepping down and she's already handed a lot of these things to Charles and William and Harry. She's actually keeping a distance a little bit. So who is dealing with this? Because they're waiting for this to blow over. That's what I get here. The Queen, oh, it will blow over. We're not going to do anything about it. We're not going to do anything about this. It will blow over. And that's what the Queen, this is the way she does things, is to say nothing and just continue with duty. But I'm afraid Meghan is not like that, okay? Meghan is not being brought up as a royal, and Meghan is not, does not have that concept of duty. Comes before your own kind of emotions and feelings here. So she's gone outside of the royal family to get support. Is that the right thing to do? Well, there is this banana thing. I think that I don't feel the Queen has thought, well, I'm not going to do anything about that just yet. But now we go on to there was the booing at this Royal Albert Hall, and then this banana thing, and now we've got these friends who are saying all these things, this list of things here. It's like Meghan has said, make sure that you mention this, make sure that you mention that, make sure you mention this, and make sure you mention that, and that's how it comes across. And I feel at this point, and Harry is happy to sit by her while she actually says this to her friends to do this. And this is the point here, that this is not the how the royals operate. And Harry is a little bit immature. He would say something like, "You're right, Meghan. I actually agree with you. Something does have to be done about this booing. Something does have to be done about social media. And yes, we do need to shut down these Instagram sites and these who were doing this and who were inciting this." But the Queen doesn't do it like that. And this is where this is leading the crown, the monarchy, down a different path where it shouldn't be going. It shouldn't be going down this path of Hollywood and gossip, and you know, you're just as bad as the tabloids, and you're just as bad by responding like this. A bit like Diana did, you know, she responded to the newspapers and all of this. Okay, how is the Queen? Yeah, this is a tip of the iceberg here. I feel that in the Queen's, the way the Queen does things is diplomatic, so there will be a diplomatic meeting about this. She approaches things very gently. She's opposite to, she doesn't use anger or she doesn't use aggression. The Queen is very quietly spoken. She is going to approach this very gently because she knows that she's very good at this, the Queen too. But she knows that what happened to her sister Margaret, what happened to Edward VIII, and all of this, she just does not want to take it down that road of making this into some kind of big scandal. So I get that there is this kind of let's get together kind of thing. Let's get together. And I feel this is the first step, is let's get together. Let's get together, Meghan. I'd like to see you. Okay. Because she's worried here that, and she, it's through experience too, that her own husband, Philip, went through this too. Okay. Philip went through this, and he said too much. You know, so I get that. You know, let's try to sort this out. Yeah, it's like they've the horse has already bolted, kind of things. These things have already happened, and it's like damage control. But I get here, she's going to approach this very kind of calm. I think she took it for granted that Harry had made a good choice. On the surface, I think she likes her. The Queen does like her. She's very good, easy to talk to. But I feel that the Queen worries that Meghan is just looking at the pleasures, the pleasurable side of being a part of the royal family, and not the hard work that goes into it, and the mindfulness, and you know, having judgment, and being very kind of sensitive to the public. I don't feel that that she think, you know, that she feels that Meghan as kind of, but she's not going to be like that because she's not been brought up a royal. And there is this kind of, Harry will say, you know, cut to his grandmother, just cut her some slack because she doesn't know how to deal with this. And you know, Grandma, it's really difficult dealing with the paparazzi and the cameras and all of this. And I feel as well they are taking a bit of the blame because they thought with Meghan she would find it easy because she's used to having cameras on her. And but then again, when look at Jackie Onassis, and you know, she went through some terrible times, and there was cameras all over her, you know, and she never had any private time, private moments. It's like the public owned her. So the Queen, of course the Queen is aware of this. She's lived through it. She's got wisdom because of this. They will be coming to my office. I'm trying to talk like her. Come into my office, Meghan. Let's have a little chat. And I think Meghan's going to. I feel Meghan is warm to the Queen because the Queen is very gentle towards her. And I feel the Queen will say, come into my office and let's have a chat. And so off, off they'll go into the office. Not yet. I think this is going to happen. Okay, I get this intuitively. They're going to have a pot of tea. Okay, a pot of tea and a tray of tea. Biscuits, no biscuits, because they're health freaks, the pair of them. Okay. So she is treating her with kid gloves here. Because Harry loves her. Harry is in love with her. They're going to try to turn this around here. And she's been very sensitive to this because Harry does love. Harry is totally in love with Meghan. And Harry has said to the Queen and Charles, it's not Meghan's fault. The royal family, it's very difficult. Okay, it's very difficult. They don't want this to, this love of this marriage here. I get the lover's card. The lover's card. Okay. The lover's card in reverse. This lover's card in reverse says what it says, really. Separation. Now, I'm just thinking, she's thinking of the past. Maybe Meghan, I think it's a good idea that we take you out of the public eye now for the time of your, for the time here of your maternity leave, and let Harry kind of do the public duties, and you just relax, because I feel, Meghan, that this is going to be too much for you while you're pregnant. Look at me when I was carrying Edward. I had to go to the Balmoral to, in fact, it wouldn't surprise me if she's offering her Balmoral, because that's where they go out of the way, because I feel something here, somewhere away, out of the way would be a good idea. I think Meghan is saying, I'd like to go to America for a little while, to see friends and just to relax. I feel the Queen is saying, yeah, that's good, you can do that, that can be arranged, with a sweet little voice. And I feel that this is what's happening here, or will happen this next few weeks. And I feel that we will hear about this, that the Queen is actually, how the Queen is going to approach this is very gentle, very diplomatic, because of her grandson. She loves Harry to pieces, and she feels that the tension here is too much, and the way they've dealt with this is through separation. When the Queen was going through a similar thing with Philip, he went on the royal yacht, I think around the Bahamas, I don't remember, but to the Antarctic and places like that. And I feel that there is this kind of thing here. Has Harry gone to some kind of Antarctic trip or something? I don't know. I've not read that, but I get like Harry's been sent to a very cold place, or he's at a cold place. I feel cold. It's very cold where he's gone. Has anybody got any idea where he's gone? Because there is this I feel that the reason why the Queen is deciding to do this is because there is this realization. Oh, Norway. Okay. Wow. I didn't even know that. I got cold. Honestly, I'm not making that up. I didn't even know that. So I get here, yeah, I think this is part of this separation. Not in a, just to separate, to cool things down, so Harry can go and relax and just find himself a little bit again, and Meghan can concentrate on the baby, and also looking at just visiting the United States for a little while. I think that comes after the birth of the child. It's going to stop. The duties are going to stop here. for Meghan, not for Harry, for Meghan, okay. And I get that, let me see if I can pick this up when this is going to, I get springtime, which is nearly springtime, isn't it? And I know you're thinking, well, she's going on maternity leave anyway, but I think they may bring this forward, saying, you know, you're getting too stressed. We can hear you. We hear you. Okay, Meghan, your friends are concerned about you. It's going to be turned into a very diplomatic thing here with the Queen, which is great. She's doing her job fantastically. I think she's the only person that can do this. Charles is not the person to go and sit in a private room with her, okay? Yeah, the banana thing. I just feel that in this time, which is going to be right till September, that she's going to be hidden away from the public. And they're going to say it's for your benefit. It's for your benefit, Meghan. Only for you, to pamper yourself, to go and see your friends and family, to reunite with your father, to sort out your issues with your family. And then after you come back in the September, everything will be changed. This is the idea, okay? So in that time, there is going to be some retraining here, because I feel the Queen is worried at the back of her mind. Let's give this another chance for the sake of Harry. Let's kind of deal with this while she's on maternity leave. And let's kind of do this while she's on maternity, retrain her, and also sort out these family issues for when she comes back in September. Things will be more positive. Now, I don't feel that's the way it's going to go, because we've got this book coming out with Samantha, which is going to be absolutely an eye-opener. And I also get that this is going to continue after this book, which is coming out, is it March, April time, around the time of the baby. I also get the babies coming a bit earlier. I've said that all along. Let's get back to the Queen here, because I feel the Queen is doing this very diplomatically, very sweet, very kind, and say to her, why don't you go to, you know, go up to Balmoral, invite your friends there, invite those friends that said those things about you that needed, you know, and go and have a lovely time up there. And I think she may do that. She may go up to Scotland when the weather picks up. I feel the weather's pretty bad there. When the weather picks up with the baby, with her friends coming to visit, there's going to be like celebrations there too. So I think she wants to help Meghan. She does want to help Meghan, because I feel that the Queen is very much a humanitarian, and all very much for women's rights here. And although Meghan comes from a broken home, she kind of understands, because she's got family and friends that have come from, and even Philip, who came from a broken home. So they know that this is. But I feel she's worried that she's finding it difficult, that Meghan is not settling in. Meghan is not settling in. Let's have a break here. Let's have a break. Meghan is not settling in, and let's do this. Let Harry go and do the duties, and Meghan, stop at this now, from not keep her away from public eye. I think it's going to be done very kindly, but they are keeping an eye on this. If she doesn't fit in after September, then this is an issue. Okay, this is going to be an issue. The way I see this, there's more scandal coming out here, which is horrendous, with the book. And after the book, there's more people coming out of the woodwork. And this is what happens with, it's nothing new that this happens with royal family. So they're sending her somewhere out of the way to enjoy enjoy the baby, and to get away from this and let this die down, this book, this scandal, and all the rest of it. And hopefully September this will have blown over. Doesn't work like that, does it? Because this book, you know, every page of this book is going to be scrutinized. The Queen knows this. She's not, you know, the Queen is very clever. She knows this. So what if she doesn't, you know, settle after this maternity leave? Then we have to go to plan B here. This is plan A, then we have to go to plan B. Yeah, Diana did not get help. I feel there's been lessons learned with that too. Okay, and I think Harry has said that. You never supported my mom, my mother, and you know, Meghan is going through a similar thing. All it takes is support and all of this. So well, I do get, and I don't want to say this too bluntly, but I do get this. When you come back in September, Meghan, this is the Queen, okay? When you come back in September, she'll say it in a very sweet tone, of course. You need to stop putting yourself there in centre stage. You do your duty, you do it quietly, you do it kind of peacefully. And I know you are centre of this tabloid wilderness here, but that's how the cameraman, the tabloids get bored of you because you're not doing anything to get attention. Like Diana used to do lots of things to get attention, okay? And hello everybody. And Diana used to do everything in front of that camera. She played that camera. The Queen is worried that we've got another Diana here in terms of playing with the camera. And she's going to say very, very succinctly, when you return after the maternity break, you need to stop doing this centre stage thing. And I think that's what's going to be said. We need to teach you how to be more kind of in the background, because if you continue with this, and if you continue with breaking protocol and being rebellious, you are going to attract this. You are attracting this bad press to yourself. I think it's going to be said in other words. And this is where, I don't know, we'll have to see if she is going to change, if this is going to work here. And I think there's damage control here. They know that Harry absolutely, totally in love with this woman, hook, line, and sinkered. They know there's a baby, a child coming. They can't just say horrible things to her. She's pregnant, you know, or if she's not pregnant, somebody's carrying this child for her, a surrogate. So they need to be delicate with her. But in a year's time, that if things don't change, I don't feel she's going to. I don't feel she's going to change that much drastically. In all honesty, I just feel there's just going to continue, and it's just going to continue, and it's just going to continue. Now, with this reading, I have not incited any racists. I have not incited anything hateful here. I've just brought in intuitive energies, and like I said, I will put at the end here, I've got my uncut versions that I have. I think I've got 4 so far. 4. I keep adding to it, but I've got 4. And so if you want to see, I'll put up here somewhere the instructions if you want to go and see what I've got available. Okay, if you want to see an uncut, private, closed reading that I'm not going to put on YouTube for a number of reasons, as I've explained at the beginning of this reading. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Thank you so much for following me, and I hope that you do see me as somebody who is authentic and who is honest and trustworthy, and that I just wouldn't do this to incite anything. I certainly wouldn't. I wouldn't dream of doing that. Okay, so sending you guys lots of love, lots of blessings, and I have got some more readings to upload. I've also got my is Meghan a narcissist part. I think it's part 3 that I'm going to complete and upload today. So very busy. So, and I've also got a lot of exciting things coming up, guys. If you're still here, I've still got a lot of exciting things. I'm going to do like a competition, which is going to be lots of fun, and I've got for my community, and I've also yeah, so I've got that, and I've also got I've designed my own intuitive deck, which I've designed it, and it's just being produced at the moment. And you know, the cards that I feel that I can relate to, because I use other people's designs at the moment, but I've designed my own, which is like I can't wait to get them. They're very honest, and so that's exciting too, and I'll be getting those in about a couple of weeks. So lots of exciting things coming on my channel. Okay, so keep following me, subscribe if you've not subscribed. There's also the outside private readings if you want to follow those, that library that I'm building, and you know, and it's good fun. It's good fun, and it gets us all together. It's entertaining too. Okay, thank you for your donation. That's great. So I am going to do a competition, guys, but that's going to be I'm going to do that in a few days. Okay, so look out for that. That's going to be a great prize too. So sending you lots of love, lots of blessings. Thank you for being here, and put my glasses on so it's switched on. Thank you, Debbie, and thank you. Yeah. But yeah, great. Thank you for saying hit the like button. I'm not very good at YouTube savviness, but yeah, it's important. Hit that if you want to support me. Hit that like button. Hit that hit all the buttons. Okay, and also subscribe if you've not subscribed. Please do. Okay, and share and like and all that kind of thing. That's fantastic. Sending you lots of love, lots of blessings, and that's my take on how the Queen thinks about all of this and what's going to happen. So look out for that, okay? Look out for that. So sending you lots of love, and bye. Oh, there's another thing I want to mention. I did my which I will do another reading on that actually. I did a premonition of a white building that catches fire, and there's onlookers, about a 4-story, and I thought it was that explosion, that gas. It's either the gas explosion or the fire that happened. Was it yesterday or the day before, where I think 14 people got killed? That actually, in my dream, it looked like, I would say, in my dream premonition, it looked like that building. When I saw that building on fire, 4 or 5-story building, which is in, the fire in France, which is in the town. I need to find out where it was, because I get a student area, or the students around walking, or there's tourists around the area and shops not far away. I need to find out where that is, because that building in France there was the exact building that I was dreaming about, with all the flames coming out of the windows, people dying, onlookers and that kind of thing. That was more like what I dreamt about rather than the gas explosion. Oh, I did say there's a gas explosion too, so I may have picked up on both of those. Okay. Yeah, I need to go and have a look back at that. I do feel it was that one, that building I saw, the 5-story white building with all the flames. That's what I dreamt about, and I feel it was that one that was 2 days ago, where I think 14 people got killed in it. Yeah, which neighborhood in Paris? Yeah, I'd like to know, because I feel that I actually had a premonition of that. Okay, guys, sending you lots of love. There's lots of things coming through intuitively. There is that air crash too. I'll do another premonition reading. Actually, there's that aeroplane crash that I feel was actually planned. And the next thing they're gonna do is wonder where the pilot's gone. The body inside of the aeroplane is of the footballer. Okay. He'd just been signed up 14 million they bought this footballer for, and I feel that he was he got bumped off. That was arranged, and that's what they're going to look into. Where the hell is the pilot gone to? Because they found him alone in this aircraft, dead. Okay, so that will be the next thing. I'd like to look into that as well. Okay, which is something else that's coming through. That's another scandal. That is something that is, they're going to get the MI5 onto that, MI6, and actually look into that, because that was a murder. Okay, and the football clubs as well are all kind of want to know what's happened here. So all of the football clubs are financing this search here and financing this privately, because they want to know whether this footballer was murdered. And that'll be the next thing here. Yeah. Wow. So I'm going to send you lots of love, lots of blessing. I'm going to finish here, because this is about the Queen. Okay, lots more to come in the future. Okay, so you take care, everyone. Lots of love, and bye for now. Hope you enjoyed that. Okay, and press the like button. Bye bye.